Hi guys, welcome back to ZenOH, which is Zentegra's Office Hours, where we dive into the Zoho ecosystem, apps, integrations, and real-world solutions for running your business on Zoho. I'm your host Jerry, and today we are looking at a very practical use case: how a pre-built Zoho Creator app, the legal case management app, can help lawyers, law firms, advocates, and in-house legal teams manage their matters more efficiently. To walk us through this, we have a special guest, an expert in Soho Creator Solutions for professional services. We have Mr. Alan. Hi, Alan.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me on back on the Zenho again. This time, I think we have a lot of insightful stuff to talk about
Hmm.
because since our last conversation in Zen Talks, we explained how Zoho Creator can help with the medical field. Today, we
Yeah.
have something a little more similar but different in a way. I mean, how it can
Hmm.
help everyone. So, legal it is.
Oh, I got it. That sounds really interesting. Gonna be a new opening eyes, I would say. So let's start with a simple question. Why uh, we are a Soho podcast? Why should legal teams care about a creator app?
Okay, so that's a good question. So, first we need to understand what problems these kind of Zoho Creator or the legal case management app in Zoho Creator, what problems it can solve for legal professionals or anyone who's dealing with legal matters. Now, first we need to understand who this podcast is for.
Yeah.
Primary, you have your lawyers, your advocates, your clients, anyone who is
Hmm.
having a legal case of their own, or companies who has to manage their legal cases. So these four categories of people can really benefit from this conversation.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
what problems they usually face is mismanagement. So in most situations, at least in India,
Hmm.
advocates, let's just say, take for example, most advocates manage their cases on books. We have something called case diary, and they
Okay.
write their cases manually: case number, case date, next date, etc. And
Hmm.
most of these documents are saved in files. So digitizing this has not taken that step yet, even though
Okay.
in
Okay.
court systems, most things are getting digital right now. High courts have implemented that e-filing, but
Mm-hmm.
for offices, that step has not taken place yet. Most people do it very manually. So for any advocate who has a lot of cases, or any law firm that handles a lot of cases, or any company who has a lot of in cases that they are dealing with, or any client or any party who has a lot of cases, they all can benefit from this because it removes the clutter of looking for that file or looking for that date.
Got it.
I
Got it.
don't uh,
Carrying
it's a
that whole
mess.
bunch of files together at the same time.
Exactly. The process that is so manual, and it has been manual for a very long time, it can be reduced to a very simple system in Zoho Creator, and you
Mhm.
don't even have to make this app like how you do it in traditionally in Zoho Creator. You already have a pre-built app, so we'll be going
Got it.
through how this pre-built app can actually help
Mhm.
your practice or business or firm.
Got it. Got it. So for someone who has never opened this application, what do they actually get out of box?
Okay, so for this, I think we should open an article
Yeah,
about
sure. That
this single
that
app.
will be
It
really helpful for the
breaks
viewers
down
also.
everything that
Mhm.
I'm going to talk about. I'll be talking about something more in detail, how it's actually practically applicable. But let's just open that article from Zoho
Definitely.
Express so that the viewers can understand it better. So,
Definitely. That will be really helpful for the viewers also to understand a little more better.
okay, so I hope my screen is visible to everyone present here.
Yes, yes, it is, Alan. You can continue. Yeah.
Continuing from what I said, this app you can actually access from three different locations. As you can see in the screen, you have your Zoho Creator app deck, you have Zoho Marketplace, and App Gallery. You can install this app from these three locations, and once you install, it should be
Mhm.
very easy to use. So first, we will show you how a traditional dashboard will look like.
Mm-hmm.
and this is how it looks like. So
Okay.
you can see you have your traditional dashboard. This is the first thing that you will be seeing. Here you have your number of lawyers assigned to cases, or total number of lawyers you have engaged, number of closed cases you have. It also shows your win percentage and number of
Mm-hmm.
ongoing cases you have.
Okay.
And if you go in a little more detail, this is the types of cases that you have with the pie chart. Again,
Okay.
these widgets are optional. You don't really need to use this, but it does make a sense of what kind of cases are usually within, that you handle. If you're a
Okay.
lawyer or a law firm, this actually helps with it. And this these are the date of hearings. So in per
Mm-hmm.
date, how many cases you have, this shows the volume, so you can be prepared early on. And these are the case results: how many are dismissed, how many won, how many lost. This widget
Got
right
it.
here.
Got it. So basically, this
And
is the first thing that like anyone who visits this particular
yeah,
application will be able to do
so
the first.
this is a
Okay.
very easy and simple interface, and
Mm-hmm.
also toward the end, as you can see, you have a calendar. So each of the
Okay.
cases that you have added will come, if your date is included, will come on that day. So you don't really
Mm-hmm.
have to scuffle to understand how many cases I have today that I have to attend.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
can just
understand.
check the calendar, and you'll do this system right here is essentially what a case diary is. So
Mm-hmm.
in a case diary, let's just say, today you had a case, and another date is given. It's been adjourned to, let's just say, April 25th. And
Mm-hmm.
so in today, when you update the adjournment date,
Okay.
immediately, automatically, on in April 25th, this case will pop up.
It will be showing
So
up there. Okay.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
it does that. No, let's just go with each of these bridges one by one, each of these
Sure.
features
Sure.
one by one.
Okay, Alan. So now the heart of any legal practice is the individual matter. How does the case module, as you can see in this, handles that particular situations?
Okay, so you have to understand dashboard a little more better then. So first thing, as you can see here, is the cases module. So when you first start off,
Mm-hmm.
the case module will be empty. So that's why you
Mm-hmm.
have something called add case. You have to add your cases here. So let me break this down. So let's just say you have your title of your case. So it is A versus B. Here in
Mm-hmm.
the demo session, it says Kerry Lamb versus and Kerry Lamb. That is your
Mm-hmm.
case title.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you are an advocate or anything, you should have A versus B also. That is, the opposing client details should also be there. As you can
Okay.
see here, you have your opposing client's details as well. You can actually just go with the case title first, the lawyer that is handling that case. Now, let's just say if you are a and if you are an individual practice, if you have an advocate, any advocate with multiple junior advocates, or if you are a law firm with multiple associates, or a company that has engaged multiple advocates, you cannot
Mm-hmm.
benefit. You can just let's just say for case A versus B, Matthew Monroe is assigned to that case. So
Okay.
since
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to, each case will be assigned, and it removes the, you don't have to brainstorm and think, okay, who do I call, who do I
I
contact.
understood.
These information are already available. And then you have your case types. Now here it is, it's just an annulment application. Can be divorce, it can be real estate, can be civil, it can be criminal.
Mm-hmm.
That nature is also showed here. So since it's an annulment application, it says it's a civil case. Again, these nature of these cases will change depending on these cases.
Mm-hmm.
Name of the client you can add here. You can also add their contact details, and here you can add a short brief description of the case. So whenever we are going through a case, let's just say uh, the client approaches you and you have to take care. Since you have a lot of cases, you might not immediately remember what this case is actually about. So when you
Yeah. Yeah.
open the file immediately, manually you have to go get the file, open the file, then you have to read and understand what this case is about. When
Mm-hmm.
there's a multitude of cases, in this case situation, you can just search the name, you get the case, you immediately have a brief description of what it actually means. Here
I
it's a
got it.
starting date, as in the filing date, or whenever you took up the file, either one.
Mm-hmm.
This is for your reference. And you can add the details of your opponents here. Your opposing opposing client's case, name,
Mm-hmm.
mobile number, email ID, address, etc., and any witnesses that you're bringing into the case, they can also be stored here. So now, as the more you add, you once you let's just say migrate your manual physical files into this, the
Mm-hmm.
system kind of changes, the interface kind of changes. So after this, you will have something like this. As you can see on the screen, you have multiple cases here, each with their own case summary, each with their own task, document section, hearing section, and case point section. Again, for these individual cases, you can all add your individual task for each cases, document that you want to add for these cases, hearings, date, description of what happened in that hearing, and any future case points that you want to refer to, right? And you
Got it,
can
got
again
it.
get a case summary.
Understood. So yes, that is actually very well made and detailed to fill in faster also, as I can see.
Yeah.
Got it, got it. So what about the lawyers themselves? Like, how does the app actually keep track of who is working on what?
This app actually solves a lot of problem in the sense that now if you take a practical example of how cases are handled in house,
Mm-hmm.
or let's just take a company's example for no um let's just say a company has multitude of different types of cases. Now let's just say maybe it's going through a real estate issue, it could have a copyright infringement issue, it would have an NCLT, company law, national company
Mm-hmm.
law, tribunal issue. So these are just examples, arbitration maybe. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not necessary that each of these cases are handled by one single advocate.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
These cases can be assigned to multiple advocates or lawyers or law firms. So let's just say for copyright infringement, there are many copyright IPR law firms are there. They are very prominent here in India. So
Okay.
maybe for your copyright infringement cases, maybe you have engaged that law firm. But let's just say for a real estate issue, maybe the company's real estate, property issues, you have handled or you have engaged a separate practicing advocate. So even the nature of who you are engaging is different. So when you go and add these lawyers, you are separating each case law and each lawyer,
Mm-hmm.
and that makes your entire management of these cases a lot easier, because it's not necessary that one person is handling it. So your
Okay.
legal department might have multiple people, right? And
Hmm.
for
Yeah, yeah.
employee in the legal department might not know who the let's just say person A in your legal department is taking care of the copyright infringement, person B is taking care of real estate. But person B, if he needs to know, let's just say person A is absent and person B has to take care of that, he doesn't have to struggle to figure out what person
Okay.
A was handling, because that information is already there.
Got it, got it,
So
got it.
once these information is shared among your team, your clients, it creates that transparency, which eliminates a lot of struggle, eliminates a lot of that confusion. So yeah, that's what it does.
Got it, got it. So basically, this legal matters always involve a lot of people, different type of
Mhm.
peoples, right? So how does this app structure that?
Now, similarly, how lawyers have been added,
Mm-hmm.
there are other third parties that you've been dealing with. Now,
Mm-hmm.
number one is clients.
Hmm.
Again, here for one particular case, you might now we let's just go to a law firm. Now, for
Mm-hmm.
one case, you might have 10, 20, 30 clients for one case.
Yeah, yeah.
It is a very, it is even more than that. It is a very real thing.
Sure.
And when the cases of such, when the case is so vast, it
Mm-hmm.
might be difficult to keep track of things. And for each client or each party, there might be a different witness. The stories are different.
Yes, yes, of course.
Similarly, for each case, the opponents might also be in huge numbers.
Hmm.
So adding people and separating them, separating their contacts makes it much more easier, because then again I will revert back to what was happening. I mean, what is happening right now, which is very manual. So all these details are not available immediately.
Got it, got
Um,
it. Hmm.
so if you need to know who your clients are, what their information are, usually it's saved in the file, will be written in the file. You have to open it. It's a manual, it's a very cumbersome
Inclusive,
process.
yeah.
Hmm. So even for opponents, let's just say if you need to communicate with the opponent for a settlement, again, if you need to get their information, you have to search through a lot of documents. And if you need to manage your witnesses, it's again a process, because you have to go through papers and papers and papers, depending on how big the case is.
Got
So
it, got it.
eliminates all of that into a simple search bar,
Got
and
it, got it.
can
Hmm.
literally, okay, fine, contact this person. I don't have to look through files. I can just type that person's name and have the details, and I can immediately call them or send them a mail, ask for a document, come ask them to come to the office. So it uh, removes all of that.
Got it, got it. So basically, it gives a small touch on what does the document module offers. For the main pain point in the overall is the document, because that's the most
Yes,
important. So,
yes.
can you a little more explain more about that part?
So again, you know what, so I will go into this model. So if you go here, you can add your documents. This is not limited to a party. You can add multiple documents, but then again, for each case, you can add documents. And what it necessarily do is, this app when shared to your clients or your legal team or your advocates, what
Hmm.
they do is, now let's just say, I'm a, senior advocate in my practice. Now let's just take
Okay,
that example.
understood. Hmm.
A case that's been going on for 10 years might have a very huge file, or might
Hmm.
have multiple files for just one case. And
Okay,
going through, if you need to find an application that was filed in, let's just say, 2015. I'm taking a
okay,
very random example here, but
understood.
for some reason, document that was filed in that application is very essential for something right now. Now,
Okay. Hmm.
if a junior advocate is assigned this particular task, he has to open multiple or that huge file, go from paper to paper to find where that document is. Now,
Hmm.
what this does is, now let's just say I'm filing a case. Now, existing situation. Now let's just come to this app. Now we are starting from point one, square one. Now if I filed a case today, all I have to do is I have to scan it and upload it,
Hmm.
and I
Got it.
have to title it. Similarly, if for every date of hearing, every application you make, whatever I don't even have to scan it, to be honest. Whatever is my Word document that I have typed out, whatever is the draft, I can just upload it. What
Understood.
happens is it makes the search a lot more easier. So any document from in fast forward 5 years, if I want documents that was filed somewhere in between, I don't necessarily have to look through papers anymore, because I can just search on this date what was uploaded and I would get it. And it
Got it. Got it. Hmm.
reduces that stressful situation of skimming through a bunch of
Bunch of
papers to get
papers.
to that
Hmm.
one paper. Yeah.
It totally makes sense actually. That is also, I guess, that's one of the most important point I would say.
I mean, yeah, so it's not just finding papers, it's like it makes um, referring to papers a lot more easier. Now, if you have seen, if you know what Zia is, it's an AI chatbot agent that we can use in Zoho ecosystem.
Hmm. Yeah.
So once you can also ask Zia to give a custom, you know,
Hmm.
summary of
Got it.
things too. It can break it down. You don't necessarily, even if the document is huge.
Got it. Got it. It's much easier.
you a summary. You can literally ask it what you need to know, and it will tell you. So sure, we have GPTs, we have LLMs right now that does this, but this is specifically made for the
Zoho
legal.
application itself, so
If
it's
you're
much
already
easier.
doing it on a daily basis, keep uploading whatever you are doing, whatever you are filing, and
Hmm.
later on you have a chatbot, you have an AI
Hmm.
chatbot that is already inbuilt with all this knowledge.
Got it, got it. That is actually a really good upgrade, so that will actually save up more time in overall. So
Mm.
if like I like to know, there's something called as case points. So what's the idea behind that?
Okay, so now you know that there is a lot of research that goes on for each cases. Now, let's just say it create in simple words, I would say it makes brainstorming a lot easier. Um, let's just say I have a case to prepare for next week.
Hmm. Okay.
And obviously, if I'm a senior advocate or a senior partner in a law firm, I would obviously
Hmm.
assign it to some juniors, research part.
Okay. Hmm.
Now, a junior advocate or a junior associate would have to go through a lot of documents, again, present case manually, to get through
Got
the
it.
information. And now, once they go through the information, now they have to come up with relevant new points, new
Hmm.
judgments. Um, Maybe some new law has been passed that is critical for the case.
Got it. Got
So
it.
whenever these things happen,
Hmm.
let's just even if it is a very simple act of one junior advocate studying a case. Now it's not necessary that this case is posted next week or next month, or let's just say after
Hmm.
6 months. If I'm studying a case and I an idea popped up,
Okay.
okay, maybe this new judgment or a new judgment was passed that was relevant to this case, even though this case is not immediately posted. I can just
Hmm.
update here. And again, this since this app is open to all your advocates, all your associates, anyone can do this at
Can
any,
use it. That's it. Uh-huh.
even if it's a client. Usually, if it is like clients, maybe as a client has one case, but an advocate who handles that case will have 100 cases. So,
Understood.
keeping tabs of these cases, new cases after this. Even the client can, put a
Track
case
it
point.
themselves. Hmm.
He can track it. He can input his own views, maybe a new judgment
Understood.
that
Understood.
he can put it.
Hmm.
So when the time comes,
Hmm.
struggle to research is reduced because as and
Got it.
when we new information, new ideas, we are putting it in, and
Hmm.
it's there. And a new judgment released, put the case number, what it is about, save it,
Hmm.
maybe download the document, add it. So when the time comes, it's easier.
Got it. Got it. Understood. That is actually really cool. What about the next part when it comes? Like, if you're missing a hearing date, is actually one of the most biggest nightmare for both client and the lawyer. So, like,
Yeah.
how does that hearing details module help in that part?
Okay. So you know what? Let's just go there. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so what you see on the screen is your, what your the hearing details specifically.
Mm-hmm.
So here, as you can see, the case number is there. What type of cases? This I have explained early
Mm-hmm.
on. Now, if you go to the you as you saw earlier, there are documents, people's case point, all of that added. You go to the hearing section, you can see different number of dates where hearing took place,
Okay.
and these you can see, you can for each hearing date you can add the details of what happened in those dates. As you can see here, it says you know postponed without a date, again postponed without a date. This is the demo. Again,
Got it.
this is just for explanation.
Mm-hmm.
Adjourned by the opposite lawyer to hand over witnesses, etc. So again, right now this is maintained in a book, in a diary.
Mm-hmm.
Next date is mentioned in a diary. So when this happens, it makes understanding of what happened previously a lot easier.
Got it. Got
So
it.
maybe on the next date of hearing, I'm supposed to do something,
Mm-hmm.
but tracking it can be difficult. I might not know what I'm supposed to do. This makes that a lot more easier. Maybe an order was passed a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we do have an app in India. It's called eCodes, and you have high code websites, civil code websites. It's very sketchy.
Okay.
Thanks to the government websites are horrible. But I'm not taking a diss at government websites, but I'm just saying that for an advocate, for their
Mm-hmm.
own personal cases, this is such a better app
Mm-hmm.
because you are customizing it. Those government apps, you have no control over. You can just access information, while in this one, you can manually add your own points. So let's just say if something was told today, if a judge
Okay.
gave a particular verdict today and particular instruction for the next hearing date, write that down, type that down, so that
Mm-hmm.
next date of hearing when you see, okay, even this pops up in the calendar as well. So
Okay.
what you're supposed to do, next date of hearing, April 25th, you're supposed to
Mm-hmm.
file an application about what, I don't know.
Got
That
it. Got
application
it.
will not arise if you feed your information into this widget right there.
Understood. Understood. Got it. That is. I mean, it. The way you're explaining it is very much understandable, and I can understand the pain point of those lawyers also, and how much they can save up time there
I
in all
mean,
these
missing
points.
dates, as you said, is a tragic
Mhm.
reality that is in the present advocates, yeah, that at the advocates face.
Mhm. Got it.
Because a lot of times, since it is very manually done,
Mhm.
it's
Got it.
very possible that a person, an advocate, or someone who is maintaining this diary to miss
Mhm.
the next.
Got it. Got it.
If I don't write that date in the next date,
Mhm.
on April 25, page April 25, if I don't write this case number, I don't go to that case.
Mhm.
And
Got
if
it.
I don't appear, the judge will pass
Understood.
a verdict against. It's a very possible thing. It happens on a daily basis. Since you are automating this, you are doing this, you don't have to worry about human errors anymore.
As you
So,
get the reminders there
yeah,
itself. Got it. Got it. So beyond this hearing, there's actual like a lot of actual works that we do, right? Like drafting, client calls, maybe filing. So how is that handled here?
so that's actually a great question. So it's not something that most people touch upon. So if you can see here, you can, there's something called adding task. I will go back there.
Mm-hmm.
So you see this thing, this option you can where you can add tasks.
Mm-hmm.
What happens there is, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
a new client comes to you for a case of their own, and
Mm-hmm.
first thing is there are a few steps that you do before filing it. Which is first thing is drafting, research, finding documents. These are all individual tasks. Maybe if it
Okay.
is to send a legal notice, that's also one of the first steps before you
Mm-hmm.
actually draft something. You have to draft the legal notice, you have to send a legal notice, then you have to draft the petition. So there's a lot of precursor tasks before filing and going to a court. And
Got
in
it. Got
between, what other things that you have to do in courts. These are individual tasks that advocates and lawyers do on a daily basis.
it. Mm-hmm.
Again, these tasks one assigned here, it is a checklist. It forms a checklist.
Okay.
The moment a client comes to you with a new case or an existing case, a few things need to be done. What are these few things? Check, check, check,
Mm.
check, check. Add them, get them done so that you are on top of what is actually happening. Because when the day
Got it.
comes where this needs to be done, no one should say, I forgot to do so because this add task, let's just say Monday I have to draft, Tuesday I have to send a legal notice, etc., etc. If that
Mm-hmm.
is a task that is given, so the next week you cannot say that I forgot because it's already there. Because that transparency is also there. It keeps everything checked. The seniors can check up juniors, and maybe other juniors can handle what other people are doing. It makes the whole management very
Much more
cohesive.
streamlined. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is totally understandable. So now let's talk about the configuration. How
Okay.
do the firms adapt to their context?
Okay, so let's just go here. So you see this thing called the settings. So right now
Mm-hmm.
we don't have that image open, but I will talk about it. So the settings module holds, reports that display and manage organization level information. Like your case types, judges, codes, which building, um, what tier of codes, that kind of
Mm-hmm.
information. Like, so this is like your master data layer, and
Okay.
so where you can define the type of cases you handle, which codes you need to appear in, and other
Mm-hmm.
reference informations. And then use the users who uses, uh, they can select from these lists when creating or updating records. That gives you a consistent and clean data across the app. So again,
Got
even
it.
though it
Uh-huh.
is a pre-built app, what
You can still
actually all of
customize
this
certain
means.
things.
Exactly. So again, you
Got
might need all the information with the options that are in this app. You might not need it. You can remove
it.
it. You can add whatever you need. So
Got it. Got it.
this can help in tweaking and customizing this app according to your practice. As I said, it differs between an advocate, a lawyer who has a law firm, or a legal, practitioner who works in a company. Their
Mm-hmm.
priorities, their tasks, their jobs vary. Their dashboard must also vary. Their app should also vary and adapt accordingly. And so the settings apps help with that. Settings option help with that.
Got it. Got it. I mean, here is a $1 million question which I was very curious to know. Obviously, this is Zoho Creator application. So,
Yes.
of course, there will be workflows, and I
Hmm.
want to know like what kind of automations is already built in here.
So, as the user, now you might not need certain individuals who have access to these documents to see everything. That is
Okay.
something that you can do. You can, show certain information and you can hide certain information from the users. So, if you are the master
Mm-hmm.
of this app, let's just say you are the senior partner in a law firm.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessary that certain information, let's just say contact information, is needed for, let's just say an intern who might have
Okay.
access to these documents. So you can, limit their access. That is something that you can do. Along with that, you can also similarly enable and disable their own inputs,
Mm-hmm. Got it.
because interns might not be as knowledgeable about these cases as others, and they might add information that might not necessarily be valuable. So
Okay.
they can actually do that too. And you can, again, as I have told before, it automatically updates these cases. So once
Mm-hmm.
you put the information, what happened today, let's just say there's a hearing today, you updated the information, you click what is the next date, your
Okay.
calendar will automatically show a month later, a week later, on that particular day, hey, this is the case that you have to attend, and
Okay.
this is the
Okay.
things that you are supposed to do today. You get that automatic notification, it keeps you reminded. And
Mm-hmm.
and that notification helps a lot, and you can actually set that notification maybe one day prior, one week prior. um, so you can keep track of what's actually happening. So yeah, these
Happening.
are maybe you can also keep notifications, to, let's just say, remind me to call X, remind me to get documents X, remind me to send a notice
Mm-hmm.
X, Y, Z. So
Got
these
it. Got
things
it.
can.
Understood. Understood. I mean, you also have covered up a little more on topic like how does the sharing and access control work in this application? As you told, the intent has the limitations as you can
Yes,
enable it as per that. Got it. So can you just give me a few more insights on that particular part also?
I mean, it is something that I did touch upon in this conversation already, but as I said, each employee, each advocate, each lawyer in an organization, in a company, will have limited access, have
Mm-hmm.
more access than each other.
Yeah.
Now, a client who has access to maybe one case, not necessarily need to know certain information. I mean, ideally you should have complete transparency, but sometimes this is not a something that is common, but it does happen that clients get overly enthusiastic about their cases and gives a lot of information which will
Okay.
only hinder the process of
The overall
research.
requirements, yeah, more than what
Exactly.
is required.
So, maybe in one way, maybe not letting clients know something is also a good thing, because it can limit two things: one, over enthusiasm about certain things because they believe that they know something more than the advocates, and two, fear.
Okay.
Sometimes it is very known that if there is very personal cases that you have to handle, certain judgments, when they read certain orders or information that is in the case, they might not interpret it accordingly or carefully, and they might go into panic mode, which
Understood.
will snowball into more panic.
Got
So
it.
this can limit that too. So okay, for sharing permissions give that, even though it gives you that transparency. Everyone is on the same page.
Mhm.
Not every line is visible to everyone. I
Got it.
think
Got it.
that I think that makes sense.
I understood. I understood. It's basically like a chain reaction. It's gonna form up if one person start to panic there itself. So gonna
Yeah.
controlling that is gonna be a really good headache. So I understand
Oh,
the part where you are telling about like sharing access
yeah.
information. Yeah. Yeah, so that has been really good insight on, and the person who doesn't know much about the legal part of the everything, you explained the step by step as you had the
Thank you.
previous and everything. So it's a really good thing to, and yeah, getting this blog fragmented into pieces and explaining for our viewers, it's a really good thing. So we have seen how the legal case management app bundled together. Yes, so thanks a lot, Helen, for providing us this detailed explanation on this particular journey about this particular blog and the legal case management application also in Zoho
Thank
Creator.
you.
Yes,
Pleasure to be here. I hope that can help a lot of people,
of
because it
course.
is something that is necessary right now.
Mhm.
Because advocates use up a lot of paper. maybe maybe
It's about
not.
the paper, yes.
Maybe it'll help that in the and
Correct.
you know um, uh, ease up on the dust mites.
Makes sense. Okay. And yes, thanks a lot for all the listeners on Zeno, the
Mm.
Zentegra's office hours. If you'd like us to do a live session, you can let us know. We can join us in part of be the part of this webinar. And also, if you have really good questions that you would like to be answered from our end, please do comment on to that. We can go ahead and make a separate episodes for you on topics such. And we have covered up multiple topics in the medical industry, now legal industry. We might have more options opening up, and please do subscribe to watch all those also. So next episode also it's going to be as interesting as this. We will make sure that we provide a detailed explanation as we did now. So make sure to subscribe, like, and share the video for the person who would require this particular application. Looking forward for the next episode, Alan.
See ya.
See ya guys, bye
Happy to be
bye.
here. See you next time. Next time it is for the gym freaks, my gym bros out there. We will
Yeah,
be breaking
shut up.
down gym management. So please
Yeah,
stay
so
tuned,
sure,
like,
shut up.
subscribe.
Shut up. Oh god.